Hello and welcome to Chabot News for February 15th, 2024. My name is Evan Netto and today we'll be covering the Black Joy Parade in Oakland and Honda's airbag issues. In entertainment news, India will tell you about Margot Robbie's Oscar snub. And in sports news, Greg has the latest updates on Lionel Messi's first contract up for auction. All that and more coming up in today's edition of Chabot News. British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak said he was thankful to learn that King Charles's cancer was caught early. While speaking to the BBC, Sunak added that he was, quote, shocked to learn about the King Charles's diagnosis. The royal family has not disclosed what type of cancer the king was diagnosed with, nor what stage it's currently at. Mr. Sunak said he will remain in close contact with Charles and that their weekly audiences will continue as normal. CNN's Max Foster reports from outside Buckingham Palace in London.
So we know that I've been told that Prince Harry is coming over. We haven't been told of the timing, but certainly all eyes on whether he arrives in London today. King Charles is at Clarence House, which is just up the road from here, and there's certainly lots of photographers out trying to catch a glimpse of Prince Harry. I'm told that the King is on good form and in good spirits, and if anything, is quite frustrated about not being able to carry out his public engagements, but his medical team have advised him against doing that. They're actually concerned about him catching any sort of viruses or anything during his treatment from the public. So that's the main reason why he's not out and about. It's not that he doesn't want to be out and about or doesn't feel well enough to be out and about. Meanwhile, he's getting this treatment for this form of cancer that hasn't been identified yet. He's being treated as an outpatient at Clarence House. I'm not... when I've been asking people, why aren't we being told what the actual condition is, I have been told that he could potentially change his mind and reveal what that condition is off the back of the fact that he's been working very closely with cancer charities over the years and how effective it was when he revealed he had an enlarged prostate, and there was a huge amount of awareness raised about that, about prostate cancer, and the National Health Service had a lot of inquiries as a result. So I think that's a watch. I think he may change the long-standing protocol about not revealing specific medical details in order to raise awareness about cancer. But I don't expect that to be imminent, but that's an update we're waiting for. And in terms of other royals stepping in to carry out those key constitutional duties, he hasn't signed any paperwork on that yet. He hasn't appointed anyone because he feels confident enough to do that himself, but behind closed doors.
Thanks, Max. It remains to be seen what effect King Charles's diagnosis will have on the British royal family. Tuesday, February 6th, marked the first anniversary of last year's earthquake that devastated Turkey and Syria, killing tens of thousands of people. Thousands more lost their homes and belongings. A year later, the exact toll still isn't known, with scores of people still unaccounted for. Scott McLean reports from Turkey.
On February 6th last year, people around the world said prayers for Turkey. 5.5 days later, they witnessed this miracle. Sezai Karabaş and his then 6-year-old daughter Şengül somehow pulled out of the rubble without a scratch. My house was here, he shows us. Even we didn't know how we survived. It was cold, we had no food or water, but God gave us strength. But Karabaş is not as lucky as he seems. His wife and 4-year-old son were killed. On one hand, he says, you feel happiness. On the other, you feel sadness. I didn't know if they made it out, but deep down, I knew they probably hadn't. 1 year on, signs of destruction are impossible to miss. Some streets still look like the earthquake happened yesterday. On most others, the destruction has been replaced by blocks of lifeless, empty lots. The rubble has mostly been cleared away, but mass reconstruction still seems a long way off. Only a small fraction of the 650,000 homes the government promised to build have been finished.
There are almost 700,000 people still living in hundreds of these sprawling container cities. They are basic. People have power and water, but not much else. It's all meant to be temporary, but you won't find many people here with any immediate plans to leave.
We're waiting for the government to give us an apartment, Ismail says. Until then, we don't have another place to go. Beyond the destruction, the quake killed more than 50,000 people in Turkey alone. But some are still missing. Çiğdem Nur's brother, sister-in-law, and niece were never found. It's been a year and there's no trace of them, she says. I'd even settle for one cell. Imagine what it's like to envy someone who's found their relatives dead. My niece was 6 years old. Do you know how difficult it is to go to an orphanage and look for her every day? In the seaside city of Iskenderun, Sema Gülech's 25-year-old son Batuhan was never found after his building collapsed that morning.
You believe in your heart that your son is still alive?
I'll be waiting for him all my life, she says, hoping. Deep down, I want a miracle to happen. Sometimes at night, I dream he shows up at my door. Khaled Kassar is one of the more than 3 million Syrian refugees living in Turkey. His house collapsed in the earthquake. It's now this empty lot. He had to move to a new city to find this tiny apartment, but there his kids can't attend school because of a law that requires refugees to remain in the province they are officially registered in. Countless other kids are in the same boat.
Are you worried about your children's futures? انت كتير قلقان عن المستقبل لأولادك؟
اي والله كتير. والله كتير.
My God, I worry a lot, he says. The last school year was wasted, this year was wasted, and I don't know what will happen with them. I don't know. Scott McLean, CNN, in southern Turkey.
Thanks, Scott. Last year's earthquake left scars in Turkey and Syria and worsened the refugee crisis in the Middle East. Congress is calling on the Federal Aviation Administration to change how it addresses the mental health of pilots. In a letter to the FAA, a bipartisan group of 45 members said it must, quote, reduce the stigma around the issue. This comes on the heel of an incident in October where off-duty Alaska Airlines pilot had an in-flight breakdown. Currently, pilots who say they have some sort of mental problem during mandatory physicals could lose their ability to fly. On Tuesday, February 6th, FAA Administrator Mike Whitaker testified before the House Aviation Subcommittee, saying that it's time for the department to update its approach to mental health. More than 750,000 Hondas and Acuras are being recalled due to airbag-related problems. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says the front passenger seat weight sensor on these vehicles can short-circuit and unintentionally deploy airbags. The recall affects 16 Honda and Acura models built from 2020 to 2022, including Pilots, Accord, Passports, and CR-Vs. Honda says there haven't been any reports of injuries or deaths related to this malfunction. Up next, we go to India for the latest news in Hollywood.
Thanks, Evan. Barbie star Margot Robbie has broken her silence about what some call an Oscar snub for Best Actress. According to Deadline, Robbie appeared at a special SAG-AFTRA screening Tuesday when she said, quote, "There's no way to feel sad when you know you're this blessed." She went on to say the biggest reward is knowing they made a film that had such a huge impact on culture. Barbie was the biggest blockbuster last year and brought in nearly $1.5 billion worldwide. Robbie may not be sad about being snubbed, but she does feel that Greta Gerwig should have been nominated for Best Director. Gerwig became the first solo female director with a billion-dollar movie. Robbie says what Gerwig accomplished was a, quote, once-in-a-career, once-in-a-lifetime thing. Barbie earned a total of 8 Oscar nominations, including for Best Picture, which Robbie was recognized for as a producer. We sent our reporters out on campus to ask students how they felt about Robbie's snub.
I think she should have gotten that nomination because for the actor who played Ken, for him to win that award for that song, it kind of just shows like how the nominations or like the awards, they're still kind of like sexist in a way.
But the Barbie movie was good, but her acting wasn't as great as her last film, so
I think she deserved an award for that because she took a role that was seen as a joke and made it into something that's like really serious and like, you know, like it makes little girls look up to her now because they're like, oh, she doesn't just play Barbie. She plays this role model that I can look up to.
I believe that she should have gotten nominated at least. I know that she was a hard worker and she dedicated her role and her mental health to the character itself. And I believe that with all the work she put in, she should have been nominated.
Honestly, I don't even watch a lot of award shows, to be honest. Like, I'm not really big on the award shows or anything like that. It's just like, in my opinion, it's a pick and choose whoever type of thing. You know, it goes by popularity.
Gerwig could still walk away with an Oscar. She, along with her husband, were nominated in the Adapted Screenplay category. Barbie supporting actors Ryan Gosling and America Ferrera both got Oscar nominations. Hollywood has a full slate of new movies lined up for your theatrical enjoyment this month. Rick Domagella reports.
You and I, we're not so different. Agent Argyle.
Little help? Hold on.
February at the movies kicks off with the action comedy Argyle arriving in theaters tomorrow.
You're him? I can't believe you're here. Do you like music? I have the cure. Oh, not that kind of cure.
Catherine Newton stars in Diablo Cody's horror rom-com Lisa Frankenstein. The coming-of-rage story opens in theaters February 9th.
Is everything okay?
I'm a gross red monster!
Don't worry, you aren't experiencing deja vu. Disney and Pixar are bringing the 2022 animated film Turning Red to theaters for the first time, after shifting to Disney Plus during the COVID-19 pandemic. The Fur flies into theaters February 9th.
Reggae is a people music. People coming together.
Two big movies arrive on Valentine's Day. The Wednesday releases are the biopic Bob Marley, One Love, starring Kingsley Ben-Adir.
You don't think this is weird, how we're all connected?
It's honestly like the least weird thing that's happened all day.
And the Spider-Man adjacent adventure Madam Web, starring Dakota Johnson.
I'm leaving town. I am too. That was my plan. Where are you going? Tallahassee, Florida.
A road trip takes a major detour when Drive Away Dolls rolls into theaters February 23rd.
Time isn't the problem. Getting out alive is the problem.
Also hitting theaters on the 23rd is Christopher Nolan's Tenet. The special release will be in theaters for 1 week only, playing on 70mm IMAX, IMAX Digital, and traditional 70mm film screens. Getting an extra large popcorn in Hollywood, I'm Rick Damagella.
Thank you, Rick. When it comes to movie trailers being released this month, people seem to be really excited for Imaginary Friends and Bob Marley, One Love biopic. We sent our reporter Jasmine Bester out right here on campus to ask students their honest opinion about the movies coming out this month. Take a look at this.
The movie trailer I have seen lately is the Imaginary Friends one.
I'm actually really excited to see the new Bob Marley movie that's coming out.
I think that's a really good opportunity that they're taking because they're taking his son and making him talk about his dad and his story. And who else would know about the story of Bob Marley than his son?
I just love how just them documenting his life, you know what I'm saying?
It's so good because they take a story that no one really knows about and they make it known to the world.
Do I plan on seeing the Bob Marley movie? I don't think I would go see it, but I've heard about it and I've heard it was like a really interesting, empowering movie. And I know some artists were part of the track list. That's all I've heard about it.
What an amazing variety of films for many movie lovers to explore this February. That's it for this week's Entertainment Report. I'm India Richardson, and now back to you, Evan.
Thanks, India. Join the celebration on Sunday, February 25th in Oakland, California with the 7th Annual Black Joy Parade presented by Black Infant Health. The Black Joy Parade exists to provide the Black community and allies with a live experience that celebrates the community's influence on cultures past, present, and future to unite a diverse community by creating a space to express each person's unique contribution to the Black experience. This year's theme is Redefinition of a Hustler. Every year, thousands of people come to the Black Joy Parade to support Black businesses, artists, performers, activists, and more. We sent our reporter Rob Knox out onto campus to get students and staff's thoughts about the Black Joy Parade.
What are the dates this year?
It is the 25th.
25th of February? Okay, there's a possibility I may get down there. Absolutely. Okay. Yeah, my aunt has a gallery off of Franklin and Broadway.
If I went, what I look forward to? Well, you said E40 might be there, so I'd be looking forward to seeing him play or perform something, you know.
This is going to be my first time going to this event, so I want to look for how it's going to be and enjoy the parade, which you're seeing, and look how it goes. And I would love to go with my friends.
I mean, it sounds fun, like all the like information I provided, like, you know, with the food and stuff. I think I would go personally because like there's like probably like good food and like good people to hang out with probably and socialize.
I don't really know. I haven't like experienced one of those before yet, but like I might be planning on going to this one.
The community's joy, vibes, and hustle are what fueled the city's economy the most. The Video Summit event happened on January 23rd at the Computer History Museum in Mountain View, California. This gathering of industry leaders and innovators provided a glimpse into the future of video technology. We sent our reporter Diana Osalenko to cover the event.
Today we are diving into the world where video and broadcasting meets big tech. Here in the heart of Silicon Valley, Computer History Museum hosts its second annual Silicon Valley Video Summit, where innovation meets inspiration and all possibilities are boundless.
Video Summit 2024 is not just an event. It's about creativity, collaboration, and the limitless possibilities of video. Leading experts and sponsors in video analytics were diving deep into the latest technologies and strategies that were shaping the future of video content. CJ shared insight into the intersection of education and the rapidly evolving tech industry, opening doors for the next generation of innovators.
They also have an AI that takes a video and compresses it for social media. So in other words, it shortens it down and looks at the scenes and only gets the best scenes by itself. Really impressive.
And now Victor takes us into the dynamic world of IP stream optimization, where real-time media performance is paramount.
We make sure that our customers have the highest quality of receiving and outgoing IP streams. We're analyzing, probing, and visualizing IP stream for our customers.
And after the enlightened discussions, everyone could immerse themselves in the networking breaks in the exhibits areas, as well as connect with like-minded professionals, explore cutting-edge technologies, and be part of the conversation that's defining the future of video. And John Scheich discussed the benefits of attending a forum for media and entertainment professionals in the Bay Area.
One opportunity is working with professionals in the field themselves already. They can act as like mentors, they can answer questions about what the industry is like, they can help students with networking.
Join the legendary oceanographer and explorer Dr. Robert Ballard alongside the Ocean Exploration Trust broadcast team as they unveil a groundbreaking vision. Witness the marvels of immersive cameras, remote-operated vehicles, telepresence, and advanced broadcast tools aboard of the exploration vessel Nautilus, marking a paradigm shift in exploration. And it also opens a gateway to exciting career opportunities. They offer paid-at-sea internship opportunities, providing a unique chance to blend education and hands-on experience. Don't miss a chance to explore career opportunities in video and broadcast. The SMPTE is designed to introduce students to the exciting world of video, featuring influential figures.
We have this large, vast network of professionals within SMPTE that will help you to get over whatever that hurdle is and to help you learn. That's what we do best, educating and helping to inspire people as they move forward in their careers.
I have caught up with some attendees to get their thoughts on the event. Let's find out if they think it met their expectations.
Yeah, so I think it was a great event. I think I learned a lot, made a lot of connections. The networking was really cool. And I think it was good to see like what the leaders in our industry are focusing on specifically.
Yeah, this is my first video summit, and I just really like meeting new people and seeing old faces I haven't seen in years.
And I think that this program and this summit is really important for students to attend because, you know,
everyone who you talk to, they got their job through networking.
So what you're seeing in this
This is Diana Osolenko reporting from the Video Summit event at the Computer History Museum for Chabot TV News.
Thank you for all the valuable information and updates provided from this important industry gathering, Diana. 2 Bay Area athletes will receive gold medals nearly 2 years after competing in the 2022 Beijing Olympics. The U.S. figure skating team is expected to receive gold after Team Russia, which previously placed first, was caught up in a doping scandal. The United States finished in second, but is set to be named Olympic champion instead due to the disqualification of Russian figure skater Kamila Valieva. 2 years ago, the teenager's doping case caused commotion at the Beijing Games, resulting in the Russians being stripped of their gold medal in figure skating team events. Valieva is expected to return for the Italy Winter Olympics in December 2025 after a 4-year ban. Super Bowl Sunday featured a game between the Chiefs and the 49ers, and if you tuned in, chances are you were also surrounded by snacks, whether it's wings, dips, or chili. Health experts are urging you to keep that food safe.
Foodborne illness in America is a serious issue.
In the future is keeping foods at the proper temperature. For example, if a food item needs to be kept cold, you can store it in a bowl that's packed in ice. Additionally, if you have any food leftovers are typically good for about 4 days. On the 4th day, you should decide whether you want to eat, toss, or freeze them. And, according to the USDA, you should also be cautious about food deliveries and pickups. And if you do have food you're planning on eating later, make sure you keep it refrigerated or that a heating source is keeping it warm. In other Super Bowl news, reporter Greg and I went out onto campus to ask Chabot students what they think about the San Francisco 49ers playing in the Las Vegas Raiders Stadium for the Super Bowl.
I think it's great. We hate the Raiders just as much as we hate the Chiefs. So, I mean, being an older guy, I've been a Niner fan since 1980. So those were the golden years for the 49ers. So the fact that we get to claim their house, get a title, and beat the Chiefs all in one day it doesn't get much better than that.
Being that the Kansas City Chiefs and the at Kansas City Chiefs and the 49ers is the rivalry of the Raiders. I'm a Raiders fan, so it kind of sucks a little bit. But I just say they can go in there and just knock each other's heads off. That's as much as I gotta say about that.
I think it's hilarious because they're playing in the Raiders' home, so that's gonna cause a lot of outrage. Raiders fans are gonna go. They're seeing all these jerseys, not theirs. So I think it's gonna be amazing.
I feel like it's a great opportunity for us to win. We're gonna win the Super Bowl before the Raiders can in their own stadium. So yeah, that's how I feel. Even the playoff game, I feel like we got it in the bag, and yeah, we're gonna win.
Oh man, I'm a Niners fan, so. It's gonna be tough, but it's gonna be doable,
Man, look, we lost the Raiders, we lost the A's, we're losing our teams, so at least we still have a Bay Area team playing within the Bay Area.
Now, for more on sports, we're going to Greg with this week's sports report.
Thanks, Evan. The San Francisco 49ers ended up losing to the Kansas City Chiefs in overtime, with a score of 22-25 in a game that had plenty of twists and turns. In other sports news, a legendary soccer player has his first contract up for auction. Here's a look at the surprisingly informal document. A napkin containing Lionel Messi's first Barcelona contract is up for auction with a starting bid of $380,000. According to auction house Bonhams, the paper was signed in the year of 2000 to acquire the talents of a 13-year-old Messi. Carl Rizak, the then sporting director of Barca, wrote the contract in blue ballpoint pen. Messi then developed in the famed Barca Academy before making his debut for the senior team in 2004 at the age of 16. He played in 778 games for Barcelona, breaking the club's goal scoring record and helping the team win 35 trophies, including 4 Champions League titles. The sought-after napkin measures only 6.5 inches across. The auction goes live in March. A big change is coming in the world of Formula One racing. 7-time champion driver Lewis Hamilton is leaving Mercedes for the rival Ferrari team. Hamilton has raced for the Mercedes team for 11 years and was contracted to do so until the end of next year. He exercised a release option in that contract and will join Ferrari's team for the 2025 season. 39-year-old Hamilton shares the record for the most F1 world titles with Michael Schumacher, but hasn't won a Grand Prix in 2 years. Some analysts think he sees this as his last chance to drive for Ferrari. And I'm Greg Driscoll. Now back to you, Evan.
Thanks, Greg. Dozens of green sea turtles are now back in the Gulf of Mexico after being cold stunned. Marissa Garay was there as a Marine Institute set the turtles free off of Florida's Panhandle on Tuesday.
Sea turtles are now back in the Gulf waters in Cape San Blas.
What a beautiful day to go home.
Kendra Jacoby volunteers with St. Joseph's Bay Turtle Patrol. She says it's important for her that she's able to help.
It's just very amazing and exciting to see the sea turtles because they're pretty elusive.
Lauren Alberin with Gulf World Marine Institute says these turtles were brought in a week ago. All they needed was to be warmed up.
Cold stunned turtles in this area, for the most part, are really healthy. They just got a little too chilly. So this gave us enough time to warm them up slowly, tag them.
40 cold stunned green sea turtles are being released into the Gulf. The waters are finally warmer so they can go back into their home. We are told it is important to make sure the water is not below 50 degrees for the turtles, or they could risk getting cold stunned immediately.
When they're flapping and they're angry, we want that. It means they're very fueled up and ready to go. Again, these turtles, by and large, are healthy, chunky. You saw fat turtles that are just a little too cold. So we can warm them up. They've got plenty of energy to get back out there and go back to doing what they do best.
Alberin says they want the animals out there as quick as they are able to.
And these are protected and sometimes endangered species. So that's why we want to get as many of them back in as possible.
And hundreds of people experiencing the release.
Pretty dang exciting to be able to touch them. It's pretty amazing. It's not something you get to do every day.
Welcoming the sea turtles back into where they belong.
Thanks, Marissa. If you happen to see a turtle that looks stunned, experts say you should call the Fish and Wildlife Commission. That's all for Chabot News this week. Thanks to all the students and staff in the Mass Communications Department here at Chabot College for making this production possible. You can watch us anytime online at youtube.com/ChabotTV. Stay tuned to KCTH Channel 27 on Comcast for more Chabot TV.